Hey there, I've got a couple questions for you. Are any of you having a hard time lighting yourself or not sure where to look when you're doing your Zoom meetings? Or are any of you really good communicators in person, but having a hard time engaging or being authentic when you're trying to communicate virtually? Or are any of you just sick to your stomach when you either have to hear yourself or see yourself on camera? If you say yes to any of these things, I promise you, you are not in the minority, you are in the majority. My name's Katy Temple, and I'm an executive media coach, and I work with sales teams and executives who want to be great on camera. And let's face it, cameras are everywhere these days. And after 20 plus years as a sportscaster, I know all too well the insecurity or the fear or the nerves that being on camera can bring you. In March, when everything changed in our world, I was working with a corporate client creating corporate videos. And of course, we couldn't see them in person, so they wanted to create a Zoom show. So they tried their own Zoom show and wanted me to look at it first before we continued to work together. And I looked at their Zoom show, and honestly, it was terrible. One of the executives was kind of looking at the camera like this, really close, wasn't sure. And then the other one was down here with all of this headroom, and he wasn't even sure where to look. And then the main CEO, who was always a very succinct and confident and successful communicator, was having a hard time knowing when to stop with his thoughts and move on to the other thoughts. So in other words, he just kept going on and on and on and wasn't communicating succinctly. And quite honestly, that is very, very natural these days, even for the most confident and successful executives. When the camera goes on, everything changes. And again, that's very, very normal. So if any of this stuff really rings true to you, I would love to help. It occurred to me right in March when I was working with this client. There's this global pandemic that nobody really understands, but it's putting the fear of God in all of us. And there's all kinds of stress, whether it's health stress, whether it's financial stress, whether it's homeschooling stress, whether it's what happens if my dog or my kids barge in on a meeting kind of stress. And all of a sudden, everybody's now supposed to look great on camera and come across as professional and classic. That's not fair. That is not fair. And honestly, not a lot of people signed up for it. And I get that. So I'm here to help. And if any of this sounds like it could help you boost your confidence virtually or your home studio, please give me a call. I would love to help.